Hi there. Welcome to Ladies Who Question. Oh my God. Do we have stuff today? In fact, we have, it's Friday what is it, May 9th?
It's the 9th.
Okay.
Yes. Oh my God, May is flying by.
I know.
The 9th.
Yeah.
It's almost half over.
Not half. It's only the 9th.
Well, I know.
May is a long month.
Yeah, you're right. It is long.
31 months. 31
months
31 days. Right. So, but anyway, we have breaking news. And we never get to do that. Of course, by the time this airs,
It'll be hashed over, but we're going to air it early next week. So.
That's right. But you were here, right here with us as it came across the wire.
Yeah.
As it used to. Taylor Swift and Blake Lively. Well, we know that has been a very tense situation because Blake Lively involved Taylor Swift with her Baldoni case. And Taylor's being subpoenaed as a witness in this. How long has this been going on? 6 months?
I want to say since September.
Maybe
when
September.
The movie broke, because there was tension right before the premiere.
Yeah.
And I think the movie came out in September. There was scuttling going on in August.
Okay, so that's when they were talking about, oh gosh, they don't want to be doing their whatever appearances
walking
together.
The red carpet together, and he had to go
there
to
must
the basement and so forth.
The basement?
Well, he couldn't come up. He had to enter the theater a different.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? But
nobody knew what was going on.
Okay, well,
they're just like, oh, they don't get along, whatever.
Now she's involved and she's been subpoenaed as a witness because remember we talked about this on other podcasts about Blake had her come over and also, what's his name? That actor. Oh gosh, he's so talented, super duper talented. He was there, and she had them there when she was talking to Justin Baldoni. Remember that? Remember that?
Yes, I do. Was it Hugh Jackman?
That's it, Hugh Jackman.
Yes.
And then later on in the texts that were revealed, then Blake sends to Justin Baldoni as things are, right before things really exploded. These are my dragons. I am Khalifa or whatever her name. What is it? Khaleesi? Oh, Khaleesi.
Okay.
I don't watch Game of Thrones. So
I don't either.
Khaleesi, who's like the queen or something. And she says, and these are my dragons, and they will stand by me. So that's how Taylor Swift got embroiled. Okay, so
what didn't she do music for the movie too?
Who?
Taylor Swift.
Oh, that's right. One of her songs.
So one of her songs is in the movie. When I think they were making some script changes, that's when Hugh Jackman and Taylor Swift were there.
And it was almost like she embroiled them because she wanted witnesses, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then didn't she make it sound like she bounced some ideas off of Taylor Swift about the script changes?
Oh, yeah. Something like that.
And it was like really not her business to be doing that. There was some little back and forth on that.
Yep. So that's what it is.
So when they say she is going to give a deposition or she's subpoenaed to give one, does that mean they take their phones and they go through them all to look at texts and all
Deposition are oral.
Oh, okay.
It's like an
it's
oral
not
inquisition.
Like investigating her.
Well, I don't think
what was
they
on
would.
Your phone. Let's look at those texts.
I mean, I don't know if they would go that far to say, Taylor Swift, we want to see your phone.
Okay.
That seems really invasive for someone who's so minimally involved with this.
Right.
I mean,
right.
Blake's been good friends. Blake and Taylor have been good friends with, the three of them.
Right.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
And so, no, you just sit at a table and there are all these attorneys or however many attorneys.
Okay.
And people, and they ask you however many questions they feel they need. And then sometimes they'll ask you the same question in a different way.
Now, do they have to answer the questions? Like, can Taylor, I'm sure she'll bring her legal team.
Of course.
And can her legal team say, don't answer?
I don't, I'm trying to remember. I only ever did one deposition ever. Yeah.
Okay.
And I remember feeling very uncomfortable because I don't watch courtroom dramas. So I'm not in on all, how the cool way, how they do it.
Right.
I had no idea. And I remember looking at my attorney and going, so what do I say? And then as soon as I would look at my attorney, all the other attorneys would immediately look at him to see if he was giving me signals or something. So I guess you're not supposed to do that.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea. And I hope I never have to do one again.
What they're saying at People magazine as of right now for the breaking news is that a spokesperson for Swift emphasized the singer has had no close connection to the film other than her song.
My Tears Ricochet.
Yeah. being used and that the subpoena is just to create tabloid clickbait.
Well,
That's
maybe.
true, because everyone will want to keep reading about it.
Unless she's been subpoenaed by the prosecution. If she's being subpoenaed by the prosecution, then they may be wanting. Oh, I forget.
She's been subpoenaed by Justin's lawyer.
Yeah, the prosecution.
Oh, okay.
Is he the defense?
Because they're suing each other, but she filed first, and then he came back with a countersuit.
Okay, so I don't know then in this case who's the prosecution, who's on the defense.
I don't either.
Huh. Okay, well,
So
anyway,
when they each sue each other, is that the same case?
sounds like two different cases,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Uh-huh. I honestly don't know. Is there two different lawsuits to be settled, or do they just settle the one big one against each other?
I don't know, because the way they phrase this in this breaking news is she's being subpoenaed as a witness in the ongoing legal case between them. And it doesn't say whose lawsuit. So wait, it does say Lively versus Wayfarer Studios et al. Ah, so maybe this is her case because her name is first. I know. Okay, well, Ladies Who Question have more questions.
That's for sure.
And there are probably people listening to us right now who go, yes, that's what it is. Don't you guys know? No, we don't.
Oh, please let us know. Please.
So anyway, that's our breaking news. And this supposedly not till March 2026.
Oh, gosh.
Forever.
Still here.
I mean, come on.
Okay.
Back to business here. Well, da Pope.
I like that. Da Pope,
Well,
da Bears,
da
da Pope.
Bears, yeah. Da Bulls. Now we got da Pope.
And we got da Pope Leo.
Homegrown Chicago Pope.
Yay for us.
Yes.
We have a big celebrity.
I mean, I'm not Catholic, so I'm not all in on everything that this means, and I'm not the one with tears streaming down my face. Oh my God, it's so good. However, I've learned enough about who this person is, who this man is. What's his real name is Robert Prevost? Bob.
Don't know, but they're calling him Pope Leo.
Right, but I mean, his real name.
Okay, don't know.
Robert,
I didn't write that down.
Right, Robert Prevost.
Okay.
And he's from, Dalton. Which is a suburb, though, right?
Right, it is. And that's where he grew up. I know he went to Villanova.
Oh, okay. Is that high school?
No, college.
Oh, a college. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
is that a
Villanova.
Catholic college?
I think it is.
Probably.
Yeah.
Like college prep for popes?
I don't know if he knew he wanted to be a pope then.
No,
he did.
I do know this.
Oh, okay.
Because I saw an interview with, and I can't remember. There was so much information yesterday coming. Yeah. It was his brother. His brother was interviewed.
Okay.
His brother was here in Illinois.
Okay. Oh, he's probably getting swarmed.
Yeah. Oh,
he probably needs like protection or something.
But, he couldn't have been sweeter. He couldn't have been. He was just very Chicago, very Midwest, very just. Wow, my brother.
Wow, is right.
Okay, you're going to love this. Okay. You're going to love this.
Okay.
He always wanted to be a pope.
What?
Yep. He goes, my brother always wanted to be a pope. He used to set up, get this, an ironing board and use it as an altar and make us all play church.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
I know, it's like, my first thought was, it's so weird, but I thought, no, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's how.
He kind of manifested and. Well, whatever he did. He
wanted to be a pope and he started playing a pope. And then they would use Necco wafers, that candy, as the communion.
Oh, that's so cute. I wonder if they have any photographs of that.
Probably.
That would be lovely.
I really just thought that was cute. He's a Sox fan.
Right.
He was at the World Series back in, what was that, 2005. I saw a picture of him.
Okay.
Yeah, I was hoping he might have a beer in one hand, but but I'm sure he did. But he was dressed in like his jersey.
Okay.
For being a Sox fan. Yeah, it was really sweet. I guess I'll have to get a new Pope on a rope now.
Oh, Pope on a rope. With a big, Chi-Town or, something that symbolizes that he comes from Chicago.
Yeah.
He became a cardinal in 2023. That seems so recent.
Quick.
Yeah.
Well, he was a missionary. He was a missionary in Peru for
11 years. He
Wow.
was a missionary in Peru for 11 years, and he had dual citizenship. So he's also a citizen of Peru.
Because he was there for so long. Yeah.
And he speaks 5 languages and reads Latin.
Oh, gosh. Brainiac.
I know. I heard a speech he gave in Italian, I think.
Well, that was how he addressed. That was his
Right.
first speech was in Italian because he was in Italy and that is the language of
Okay.
Rome. I mean,
Darn.
Because
I thought, oh, good, I'll be able to understand the Pope. Because the last Pope, even when he spoke English, I could not hardly understand him.
Yeah, he had a pretty thick accent.
So I was thinking, oh, good, I can understand him.
Oh, he was a deep dish pizza fan.
Oh.
But he says, I don't know, since I've been in Rome or whatever,
Yeah.
I do like the Italian.
Oh, he's been there for 20 years.
Yeah.
So he's really learned the ropes.
Yeah. But we could get him back for that.
Oh, he'll visit. I'm sure he's going to visit Chicago. Absolutely.
Oh, I wonder if he knows that sister from DePaul. You know that sister who she's always goes to the basketball games?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they're buddies. I can't think of her name. Sister
Jean.
Sister Jean.
Yeah. Sister Jean. She's in her little wheelchair now, but she's still alive and kicking. Yeah, that would be somebody that would get front row if he comes to town.
Yeah. Yo, Sis Jean, come.
Yeah. Was that from DePaul or from
I thought she was
Loyola?
Loyola.
One of the two
right.
Catholic colleges where
I don't know.
Yeah, she always would root the basketball team on.
Yeah, Loyola. I think you're right. It's Loyola.
Like we were talking before we came on the air about how he's a pope for the people. He has similar characteristics to Pope Francis: the poor, the underserved, etc.
Yeah, that is his focus. I apparently, from what they're saying, he's not as liberal as Pope Francis was. Although I thought Pope Francis, at least from what I learned or heard, thought he was delightful and was certainly focused in the right direction. But this Pope Leo is very much the same. Very much. They're not exactly sure, of course. I mean, it's new. But what he's been doing so far, and my God, a missionary for 11 years.
Right.
Can you imagine the impoverished areas in Peru? I mean, he
in Peru,
bleeds for humanity and for treating people correctly, and not just that, but other things. So we'll have to see. But come on, he's from the Midwest, so he's already got a good start.
Oh, absolutely.
Speaking as a Midwest grown girl.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's great news for the country, the world, and Chicago.
Yeah, and Conclave apparently now the movie has
I'm sure
bonkers viewership.
I want to see it. I was supposed to see it before they decided, and then I didn't have time.
Yeah, same here. I still not seen it. But his house, which you said you saw a photo of in Dalton, not modest, nice house where he grew up.
Very modest. Yeah,
it was for sale. Guess what?
Oh, it was for sale for $66,000 or something.
That sounds about right.
They took it off the market.
Yes,
though.
they took it off the market.
So maybe they'll turn it into a little
I don't know.
museum,
or they're going to hold
tourist.
it and try to get more.
Oh yeah, the Pope lived here.
This is where the Pope grew up. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a fun story.
Yeah. I just kind of. Okay, we're a lot of paper noises, so sorry, folks. Hey, we know it's been a while since the Met Gala aired.
Okay.
You know, by the time you hear this, everyone's talked it to death. Everyone's sick of probably hearing, but we don't have that information. We're not going to talk about the gowns, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You have some inside sort of scoop on it.
Well,
I'm not sure, but it's
the
not
inside
that.
scoop that I just read about and I'd never learned. And so, well, first of all, this is just a tidbit. Basically, Anna Wintour, she has a no cell phone rule. And there were some cell phone rule breakers there.
You're talking about at the gala.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who brought them in, and they immediately went onto social media. Hello.
Wow.
And then they'll never get invited again.
Everybody
Meghan,
knows. Everybody knows that you never see the inside of the party because of her rule. So this is big.
Meghan Thee Stallion, she was the front runner in that whole thing.
You mean she was posting stuff?
She was posting stuff. So, and it was all over that it was her. And then she posted some other people. But anyways, that's an absolute no-no in Anna Wintour's book.
How could she not know? How could Meghan Thee Stallion not know that that's not what you're supposed to do? I'm sure it's like rule 1.
Right.
No cell phones inside the gala.
Right. And she was, when I saw like a little clip of her cell phone, she did a little video. She's kind of like total attitude, like, oh, I can do this. This is what this is for. And, she was just kind of making fun of the rule.
I saw her, just a brief clip as well of her talking about the food. and she was just shoveling some food
Right.
in her mouth. But then again, also didn't seem real enthusiastic about the food. So I went, ooh,
Yeah.
you know,
And she's posting something negative at the time it's going on.
yeah.
Not cool. So anyways, that's that story. But,
Well, who else?
well.
But who else was posting besides her? I mean, that's the only one I saw. I'm just curious who else was dumb enough to make sure they never get invited again.
Well, Angela Bassett was on.
Angela Bassett
I
did
know.
that? She knows
No,
better.
but I think she was just, Meghan Thee Stallion was taking photos of her,
Well.
and Angela was willingly to be on her video.
Well,
And
that's
that's
not
kinda
her
not
fault.
cool.
That's not cool, but that wasn't, she wasn't the instigator.
I know. Well, this is the scoop on the Met Gala. The tickets are $75,000 a piece. And
Holy smokes.
yeah. And that's how much they were last year. And it's about $300,000 for a table. So all these people that we see on the red carpet with their outrageous outfits, good, bad, ugly, interesting, funny, they go free because Anna Wintour invites them to be guests.
Okay, so who's paying the freight?
These average commoners that have a lot of money because they want to sit next to a celebrity. So it's their chance to sit next to Kim Kardashian or Nicole Kidman, Madonna, Diana Ross, Rihanna, whatever.
Anybody
during
who's
the dinner.
of note who's
Right.
there. Yeah.
And of course it's a write-off and it's a donation, but none of the stars have to pay.
And they
That's just a
don't pay
crime.
for their outfits
No,
either
they
because
don't pay for their
that's
outfits.
promoting the
The
designer,
mhm.
which is good for the designer.
Right. But one thing I noticed this year is there wasn't like quite the A-listers.
No.
It's really dwindled. I think it's dwindled the last couple years.
It was very BC list.
It was very BCD.
Okay, I'm trying to think. I didn't pay as much attention as I usually do because
I say D because I didn't know a good portion of the names. I wasn't familiar with who the people were.
Well, that could be because we're out of touch.
That can be that too. A lot of musicians and so forth.
Oh, okay.
So anyways, here's the A-listers that I noted. And these are the only ones I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know she was there. I'm going to write her down.
Who's she?
Well, Glenn Close.
Oh, she's definitely
Yeah.
an A-lister.
She's an A-lister. Nicole Kidman, did you see her haircut?
No, I didn't get to see a lot of it.
Nicole Kidman was there, and she had a really super short haircut where it was kind of short on one side and long on another. It looked really good.
Really?
Because you know why? She always had this long hair, and now you see her face, and she does it. It brings out the best in her face.
Wow.
Which I was surprised. I'm like, at first I go, oh my God, that's Nicole Kidman. And she has, that kind of reddish blonde hair. And then she had kind of a little dark streak, but it was tastefully done. And I was like, oh my God, she cut her hair. And it looked really good.
Wow. I mean, she does have a beautiful face. She has lovely features.
It frames her face. And yeah, I was shocked.
Okay. Well,
But-
I mean, do you think it was a real haircut or do you think it was a
Yeah, because
wig?
they did say so in the
Oh,
article. Mhm.
Okay.
Real haircut. Madonna, I would say she's an A-lister, even though.
Oh, for sure. Madonna will be A-lister forever.
And Diana Ross.
Yeah, of course.
Rihanna,
Mm-hmm.
Anne Hathaway,
Yeah.
and Glenn Close. And those are the only AAs
That's it?
that I can remember. Like you didn't see the Jennifer Anistons, George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Meryl Streep, all the Oscar winners.
None of them.
None of them. Ryan Gosling. I mean,
It may have something to do with the theme, though.
it could.
Do you think? I mean,
possibly. The theme was tailored for you, tailoring Black style.
I thought it was Black dandyism.
Black dandyism, yes, it was Black dandyism also. But I read the title as tailored for Black. Do you know what Black dandyism means?
I do.
Oh, okay, because I
Yeah.
had to look it up.
Yeah.
I looked up dandyism. What does it mean?
A way of, I remember when it started coming out. I mean, I wasn't alive when it really did then, but it was a way for Black people to express themselves and to stand out and to kind of be styling. Like this is our style. It's not like the white people's style.
Right.
This is we're owning this and this is what we do. And it's a lot of, or at least in the past, there's been a lot of color. It's been a lot of severe tailoring to, it like, well, white zoot suits. Well, that was sort of a white thing, but I'm sure, yeah, Blacks too. But I remember when it just, that's what how I interpret it. So that's my interpretation. Am I way off?
Yeah.
Or?
I looked it up. It's cultural movement of fashion and style and Black dandyism and historical significance, particularly during the Harlem Renaissance.
Oh,
So I
So
don't
it
know.
was probably the 60s and 70s?
Yeah, I was even going to say a little earlier.
A little earlier than that, yeah.
But
Harlem
when you
didn't
look
really...
back at those movies, you see just they're so beautifully dressed in
well,
their clubs, their
and
nightclubs.
exactly, and accessorized
Mm-hmm.
properly, and it
Yes.
fits properly.
Right.
So that's sort of part of the whole movement of setting it apart, going, this is who we are. This is how we're setting ourselves apart.
Right.
You know, and we're going to look good. We're not going to look like you guys,
Right.
but we're going to look good in our
On
way.
what looks good on us and what we think looks good.
Yeah.
So I wasn't quite sure. I knew it had to do with fashion and style, but I didn't really know what dandyism meant.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the Met Gala. And
I have something.
okay.
I say this with some reluctance. You probably already have figured out where I'm going.
I don't know.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I hesitate to bring up Gary Turdner's name ever again, and I know I vowed I wouldn't.
No.
But
Well, you know I'm on the edge of my seat for this.
okay, well,
Okay.
he is in love again.
No.
A retired teacher from Indiana, so they're
Okay.
both, you know.
And she gets a pension.
And actually, yes, she does. So do you know anything?
No.
Okay, she's retired. Oh, you're right. Retired teacher.
I'm always
that
thinking
was-
of the money trail.
And that was my first thought. I
Oh,
went,
really?
a retired teacher. Oh, the teacher's pension.
Yeah.
Reliable money. Gary likes that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he met her on Facebook. Apparently, he
Oh, dear
says,
Lord.
yeah, she slid into his DMs.
Oh, God.
He says they've been inseparable since March.
Okay. We're 2 months
And
in now.
And he also said he called her the love of his life. This is truly the love of my
Oh,
life.
dear.
How is that going to make your children feel, first of all?
Yeah.
I would hesitate to do that if I had children, because like you kind of want to believe that your mom was the love of your dad's life. But
Right.
what I'm, you know,
Yeah.
kids grow up, people move on, you become
Yeah.
adults, and you go,
Yeah.
okay, things
Yeah.
change.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the deal. And she's in her mid 50s, and he's what, 70 something?
Yeah.
So I had to bring that up. And I bring that up, I stumbled upon it only because there is going to be a new Golden Bachelor.
Right.
And I know you knew that.
Mm-hmm.
The guy, he's 66,
Okay.
grew up in Michigan. He's a former NFL player for the Rams. He was drafted, he was the 9th draft pick in 1981 in the NFL draft. So he's
Ninth
was good.
round or ninth draft pick?
Ninth, the 9th pick.
Oh, that's
Oh, wait,
yeah.
ninth
that-
pick. Didn't say. Oh, I might have that wrong, but I did
no.
put 9th pick.
Okay, well that's high up. Really
That's
high.
really high up.
Yeah.
So yeah, in the 1981 NFL draft. Now I have that incorrect, but I put 9th pick. That doesn't mean I didn't just write too fast. And his name is Mel Owens. So they're actually giving us his full name. Oh no, they don't give the full names of the women. He seeks a partner to share life's simple moments. He became a lawyer after he played football. Now that's
Yeah. Okay, give him credit.
yeah. After his NFL career was over, he moved back to he moved to LA because that's where
Oh, okay.
makes sense.
Yeah.
He had made the name for himself as a
Mhm.
Ram. So if you're going to be an attorney, you kind of, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So no premiere date yet set for Golden Bachelor. Golden
Golden
Bachelor,
Bachelor, right.
second season. But he's divorced. He has 2 sons. And as I said, he lives in LA.
Okay. So first of all, I hope they did a deep dive on his background.
Well, we'll see, won't we?
I'm going to do a
Because-
deep dive.
You know what? Do that.
And I'm just going to see if I can turn any dirt up, because if I can, then that's silly.
Yeah,
Because that means they really did not do their job.
but how could they not do their job this
Exactly.
time after the
Ugh,
the things they overlooked
Right. Right.
with Turdner
Turdner and Joan.
and Joan? They overlooked. Yeah, they did not turn up all that
No.
background on her with
No.
her,
Her-
dead
her-
husband.
Her dead husband.
Oh, it
was-
sounds kind of flat and crass, doesn't it?
I
But
know,
I didn't
but-
mean it like that. But
It just paints not a great picture of her.
I know, and so hence
Yeah.
I hesitate to bring it up, because not only did I talk about him, but I just thought
Okay, so I have questions about Gary Turdner. So
I don't
wasn't
know
he
much
dying of
more.
cancer? And that was like why
Oh, right.
he's now all better.
Well, I don't know about that. I did read some sort of snippet along the way also that popped up, and it was about Teresa saying, she was sort of countering what he had said about why they broke up.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that he says he told her about his condition in January or something. And that's why they broke up. And now I don't know if she said that she didn't hear it then, but the way it was written in the article was you could almost feel the pregnant pause of her responding, sort of a, that's not why we broke up, but I'm not going to go into it.
That's what it was, a good excuse at the time to kind of get out of the marriage and run and never turn back.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Teresa's like, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You live
So,
there, I live here.
Yeah. You're going to mooch off of me? No.
Yeah.
Now he's got her, this teacher to mooch off of. Well, it's kind of almost like, it's not as low as pen pal prison inmates.
Wait, what?
Well, you know when
Pen pal prison mates.
Well, you know how women fall in love with these murderers?
Oh, that I don't never understand that.
I don't understand it, but it's almost a little bit higher than that. But when women are attracted to kind of like a full-on loser.
Oh, I see where you're going with it.
Where it's like, ew.
Yeah.
And they just are attracted to somebody that doesn't have a great...
Well, you're talking about
scumball.
different levels of like scuzz.
Scuzz and lowlifes,
Yeah, and up to finally, another level of, and then finally of somebody with class or integrity, honesty. Yeah, okay.
What attracts women to people like that?
And he's
I don't
sort
know.
of like that lower, like underneath, like
he's
if you were
just
talking
so
about
phony.
the Earth's crust.
It's like now
he's the magma.
He's the magma. He's so phony that you look at him and you can't even believe.
I know, but we got sucked in initially. So anyways, that's it. We're not talking about anything more. We have one more thing and then.
Oh, we do? Okay. Well, should we talk about Karen Reed?
Oh,
so
Karen
I'll do a
Reed.
quick wrap on Karen Reed.
Yeah, let's do that.
So it's I don't know, it's day 12 of testimony. Well, bottom line is the last couple of days they cross-examined, or they had one of the major police officers on the stand who fumbled the whole entire investigation.
What do you mean the major? You mean one of the ones that was at the party?
No, one that was investigating, that was there when they found the body.
Oh, good. Okay, well, that's a good witness.
Right. And he fumbled so bad on the stand about not even going into the house.
Wait, he's investigating this for the police department.
He
didn't go into the house to see what was going on. But I thought you told me that the guy never went, I forget, O'Keefe, whatever his name is. I thought you said he never went into the house anyway.
Well, they don't know.
Oh.
Nobody will know. Nobody knows because, where was I with this?
You said that he fumbled on the stand and he didn't even go into the house. That's where we left off before we sort of started investigating that point.
Right.
He just goofed up. Like how? How did he goof up?
Well, he never went into the house to ask people, did you know there's a dead body in your front yard? And I want to talk to everybody in this house and I want to do an investigation in the house because then there might have been evidence that he was in there. So if you had a dead body on your front lawn, the police would naturally come into your house.
I would
and say,
agree with that.
I want to talk to you about what's going on and what happened last night.
Yeah.
No, because they're all friends. They all talk. And one of the head troopers was fired from the case, Michael Proctor.
Because?
Allegations that he had disparaged Reed, shared confidential investigative details, leaked a lot of information out. The defense grills this guy that was on the stand. His name was Sergeant Urey, about everything. And he was 2 days on the stand, and I watched a few of the clips, and he didn't answer questions. Anyways, when I read the recap, it said he came off as a disaster. So...
Well, it doesn't sound like he was doing his job.
No, he didn't do his job. It was just a total... He picked up 2 pieces of evidence and didn't bag them and tag them properly. So it was just one thing after another. It was part of the clothing John O'Keefe was wearing, and everything was just muffled. So this is a little snippet that came out today. I was listening to one of my podcasts by Heather McDonald. I listened to her faithfully, and she had 2 guests on there today. And this
who is she?
She's a comedian.
A comedian. Okay,
yeah.
Go on.
And she has these 2 guests on a lot, Brandy and Julie. And Brandy, they weren't even talking about the case, but then Brandy said, "Well, I was home. I'm from that area, Canton, Massachusetts, and I was home for not Easter, but Passover." And she was celebrating Passover, so she was there for 3 or 4 days. And she goes, "Oh my God, the entire town is on Karen Reed's side. Anywhere you go, it's like she was in a restaurant that Karen was at, and people were like, "Go, Karen," because she said the population out there in that area, they say the police department is so corrupt here, it's about time that they get their asses kicked. So she said everybody was cheering for Karen. Anybody you talked to said, no, this is not her fault. It's a cover up and all that. So it was interesting to hear that like insider tidbit.
Well, it sounds corrupt when you're telling me about how not thorough the investigator was, or he didn't really investigate, and he didn't, whatever he had for the evidence, he didn't even vet it properly or bag it. Or
no documentation on evidence, clothing. Nothing was logged. Everything was done so sloppy from the start that it smells so much like a cover-up, because his gut feeling going there with a house full of police officers, all best friends, dead body, like he didn't even want to investigate.
See, so now it becomes the cover-up for whom?
Right.
Who needs to be covered up?
Well,
they're gonna. You know what's gonna happen? They're gonna all, if she could flies from this. You know, she not guilty, and not another hung jury, which it doesn't. Well, I don't know. We're talking about townspeople, not the jury. But then they're gonna all turn on each other like rats in a corner.
Right. Oh, right.
And then it's gonna get really ugly.
Oh,
I mean, if you think it's ugly now.
Yeah. They're talking about movie rights and who's buying it and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, the story has not yet been told, so
no,
don't write that script yet.
It'll be interesting to see, but my bet right now is she's not going to be guilty, and we'll just have to see how it plays out.
Okay, I mean, I did hear some of the clips of the phone call with her being so angry with him.
Oh yeah, see, when you hear those, you kind of go, "Oh, she sounds scary."
Well, she sounds drunk and angry. I don't think I've ever left phone messages quite like that, but I know I've left angry drunk phone calls for men in the past. Like, not quite to that degree, but and then she leaves the ones at 5 o'clock in the morning before she goes back to find his body, right? And they're quite a different tone.
They're like, "Where are you? Where are you? I'm worried." Blah blah blah.
It just didn't sound like she couldn't be that good of an actress.
No, that's another thing. They said there's no way she would go from this to that if she knew he was dead.
Yeah.
And there's all the technology with the phone and this other girl, Jennifer McCabe, and something's going to happen to her.
Okay.
Because she's all in with them. So we'll have to see what happens.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
Well, that is your daily dose of everything. We have covered the span. I mean, we've gone from Pope to murder. I mean, woo.
We have.
Okay, that's a lot. Well, I don't even know how to close out because I'm just a ball of confusion, just like a world.
Well, we'll just have to see what happens next week with all these drama stories going on in the news.
Is this everything that we meant to follow up on?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
We covered it.
Oh!
I know what I just remembered.
What?
Remember how we were trying to remember what our third story was in our trifecta of trash from last week? We were going to talk about Bill Belichick. And
yes.
And that now it's such an old story.
But something just came out recently.
Here's what came out recently. And this is how I remembered. This morning, University of North Carolina said she is not allowed, his girlfriend, Jordan, whatever her name is, on the sidelines of the football games. She's not allowed there. Then, and some podcaster came out who's very well known and does a lot of sports stuff, came out with that.
Yeah.
Then this afternoon, no, she's allowed. That's not true.
Oh.
So speculation is, or that Bill Belichick said, "Hey, I'll quit if you don't let, my woman be on the sidelines." That's just speculation.
Ew.
Okay. So anyway, that's the latest. And that was going to be our trifecta of trash. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I don't want to. If I was 24, I wasn't looking to date somebody who would be my dad. Or my grandfather.
73 years old. Ew.
Ick times 10.
Totally.
Okay. On that note, happy Friday.
TGIF.
TGIF, and we'll check you later.
Toodles.
Bye. Thanks, Harvey. Ladies Who Question is executive produced and edited by me, Lisa Dominique, and also executive produced by Holly Caulfield. Holly also does most of our research, and Claire Caulfield is in charge of technical assistance and social media. Music, My Lionheart. Sketch music by Florian Manx and Matthew Anderson. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe, follow, rate, and review Ladies Who Question on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Send your thoughts to ladieswhoquestion@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, and our website, ladieswhoquestion.com.
All content discussed on Ladies Who Question are the opinions of Lisa Dominique and Holly Caulfield and should not be construed as advice of any kind. By listening to this podcast, you agree not to use this podcast as advice of any personal or medical issue for yourself or others. This disclaimer also applies to guests or contributors to the podcast.